to hold the can. We just put 4 dowels there and we glue them together. We have this part here to connect this what is it called?
Axle, or no, the body, the frame.
We have this frame to connect all of the wheels and axles together. We glued the styrofoam wheels to the dowels, and we put rubber bands around it to increase traction. We put this stationary dowel here to hold the rubber band, so that way when we turn the wheels, they'll stretch, and then when we release the wheels, the car will move. We put tape on the insides to reduce friction between the wheel and the foam board, and that's about it.
So to build this, we used hot glue. We glued on these 4 dowels for the Coke can. I cut out this from foam board, the frame, and then we took styrofoam shapes and then we glued them in here on the dowels. Put them inside the foam board. We put this dowel inside the foam board, this dowel inside the foam board, and then I put rubber bands on the outside. And then we ended up with this beautiful creation. Put paper clips here. That way to hold the rubber band, and we wrapped it around the dowel, and then we glued it to make sure it stayed in place so it wouldn't move around while it's going on its journey.
Yeah.
So some problems we had building it was one of these wheels, this one had a defect to where it's not completely flat, so you couldn't really do anything about it straight up and down like this because it's not flat. It was made to where part of the wheel's like this. So so when it goes, it rotates like this. We couldn't really do anything about that, so we just tried our best and we just had to deal with it. The only thing would be to buy a new wheel, which
would bring us over $20.
So we just dealt with that. The rest of it went pretty smoothly. These, we had some trouble getting on, but we just glued it. We couldn't get it as tight as we wanted, but glue fixed that problem pretty easily. Originally there wasn't enough traction, but then we remembered they just put rubber bands on there, so that's what we did. Here are the wheels, which we hot glued in on the inside so that the axle and the wheel would always move simultaneously. Because before you would move the axle and the wheel may or may not move exactly with it, so hopefully this will reduce that problem. So as hopefully you can see here, I made the body of the car. So there's 2 pieces. 1, 2. Cut them out of this foam board, scissors. Measured them, try to make them the same size.
Ready?
This is Colin filming Jeremy putting holes in our wheels.
Okay. Alright.
So the first time around, we made a small car and we failed.
Ready to go?
Yeah, we're ready to go. Test 1.
These 2 were too close, so there was no tension between the rubber band and the paper clip right here. The next problem with this one was the wheels were too small, so it wasn't going far enough. And since the car and the frame was too small, it wasn't reaching and covering, it couldn't cover the dot in the straight line. So we upgraded and we basically just made a bigger version and spaced out the paper clips and the rubber bands to increase how far it would go. The wheels are bigger to cover more surface area, so it would reach the dot. And since the frame is bigger itself, it would have a better chance of covering or going over the dot.
Ready, set, go.